Out in the middle of nowhere, where the streetlights give up and the trees crowd in, the world gets quiet. Too quiet. That's where our story begins tonight. Two buddies, Jake and Ben, were driving home from a college football game. Their shortcut, a ribbon of cracked asphalt called Route 77, was a bad idea. Everyone knew it. But hey, it'd save an hour. The radio had fizzed into static an hour ago. Just the hum of the engine and the darkness pressing against the windows. Then a thump-thump clunk. The car gave a shuddering gasp. The engine light glared an angry red. And just like that, they were dead in the water. Silence. The kind of silence that feels heavy. Jake tried the ignition. Grind, grind, grind. Nothing. Perfect, Ben muttered, slamming his fist on the dashboard. No service. Nothing. They popped the hood, but in the weak glow of their phone flashlights, the engine was just a mess of metal and shadows. They were stranded. That's when they heard it. From the woods, a snap. A twig breaking. Not an animal. Too deliberate. They shone their lights into the tree line. Nothing but a wall of black. Hello? Jake called out. His voice didn't echo. It just got swallowed. Silence. Then a voice came back. Not from the woods. It seemed to come from everywhere at once. It was a whisper, dry like leaves skittering on pavement. Hello. It was their word. Their hello. But it was wrong. Slurred. Like something that had forgotten how to form the word. Ben's blood went cold. Who's there? A pause. The leaves rustled with no wind. Then, who's there? It was Ben's voice. But it was a perfect copy, played back from the depths of the woods. They looked at each other, eyes wide. This wasn't a joke. Stop messing around, Jake yelled, his voice cracking. Messing around, the echo whispered back, this time with Jake's own fear, his own cracking tone mirrored perfectly. It was learning, mimicking. A new sound started. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Like long, dry fingernails slowly dragging down the side of the car. They spun around, flashing their lights. Nothing there. But the sound, it moved. From the driver's side to the trunk. Let us in, it whispered. But it didn't say us. It used Jake's voice to say it. Terror locked them in place. This thing, it didn't just mimic. It taunted. The scratching turned to a soft thumping. On the roof of the car. Thump, thump, thump. Like someone was politely knocking. Then harder. A frantic, angry pounding that made the whole car shake. Let us in. It screamed this time, a horrible chorus using both of their voices twisted together. They dove into the car, locking the doors, breathing in ragged gasps. The pounding stopped. The silence was worse. Then a new sound. From right outside the driver's window. A soft, wet clicking sound. Like an insect, but bigger. Slowly, against every instinct screaming at him not to, Jake turned his head. Pressed against the glass was a face. It was pale, stretched. It had no eyes, just smooth, skin-covered sockets. And its mouth was open too wide, making that wet, clicking sound as it tasted the air. It tilted its head, and from that horrible mouth it spoke. It used Jake's mother's voice. Jacob, honey, roll down the window. I'm scared out here. Jake almost did it. The voice was perfect. Loving, terrified. It's not her. Ben shouted, snapping him out of it. The thing's mouth stopped moving. It seemed to frown. Then it spoke again, this time in Ben's little sister's voice, crying. Benny, I'm lost. I'm so cold. Please help me. It was a weapon. Their own memories used against them. The thing began to scratch at the window with long, bone-white fingers. Screech. Then another face appeared at Ben's window, and another at the windshield. They were surrounded. Pale, eyeless faces, each one silently opening and closing its mouth, learning, waiting to find the perfect voice to break them. The car windows began to crack under the pressure. It was over. They knew it. Jake looked at Ben, a final desperate idea in his eyes. The horn. Blare the horn. Maybe someone will hear. Ben slammed his fist on the steering wheel. The horn blared into the night, raw electric scream of terror. Honk, honk. The creatures recoiled for a second, their smooth heads twitching at the sudden, unnatural noise. And then silence. The horn had stopped, but not because Ben let go. The sound had been cut off, because from the radio speaker, a new voice came out. It was the staticky, broken voice of the thing outside, and it was mimicking the horn. Honk, it whispered through the speakers. Honk, it had learned the card too. The last thing Jake and Ben heard, as the glass finally gave way, wasn't a scream. It was the sound of their own voices, whispering from a dozen hungry mouths. Thank you. We're coming in. Pause for a long moment. Look at your audience. They found the car a week later. Windows rolled down, doors wide open. No sign of a struggle. No sign of Jake or Ben. The only thing the police found was the recorder from the dashboard camera. The video was just black, but the audio was clear. It's just the sound of two voices having a calm conversation. Jake's voice and Ben's voice, talking about the weather, talking about the game. But if you listen real close, under their words, you can hear it. A faint, wet, clicking sound. And sometimes, just sometimes, one of them will say a sentence perfectly backwards. Radio fades to static. Roll up your windows and pray you don't hear your own voice calling back to you from the dark. So next time you're driving down a lonely road, and you be sure to subscribe and comment below to join our community of horror lovers.